So if you have seen any other videos titled, "If you're a virgin, watch this," or "If you're a virgin, this video was for you," like, I swear, bro, all those videos are fucking the same. In all the videos, like, the guys that makes those videos, they are always like, "Oh, I lost my virginity when I was super young, and when I lost my virginity, I was still miserable and still depressed, and so losing your virginity will not change anything at all." Like, I swear to God, it's always the same, and it's so cringe, because my backstory was very different. Like, when I lost my virginity, which was not at a super young age, but also not at a super old age. Like, I did that basically as soon as I turned 20, which I think is a normal age. But the point is, when I did that, actually a lot changed in my life. I all of a sudden, like, felt so much better about myself. I felt so much more masculine, so much more alpha, now that I had finally lost my V card. And that's mainly because I felt like the woman that I lost it to, that she liked me so much that she was basically willing to take my virginity, and she was willing to give her body to me, and I felt like I had some kind of power over women, and that felt so good about I felt so good about myself for a while, until eventually people told me that this woman was just using me and she did not actually like me. And then I received this red pill advice that says, "She's not yours, it's just your turn." You probably have heard this. And I can tell that, at least in her case, like, I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but it was pretty damn obvious that I was not hers, it was just my turn. And then I became depressed again, I became miserable again, because I realized that I did not have any power over her. She had power over me, because it was just my turn, and I was never hers. And so I started feeling miserable, because the thing I really wanted was not sex, it was power. I wanted to feel power over women, which I know sounds really horrible. Like, most people will claim that it's like sexist and misogynistic, but it doesn't change the fact that younger me wanted to feel power over others. But the reason why I wanted to feel that power over others was actually because I barely had any power over myself. Because I was the kind of, like, people pleaser that let everyone walk all over me, and so I felt powerless. And so the few moments when I felt like I had power, for example, over women, that was what made me happy. And so when I lost my virginity, I felt like I had that power, and that's why I felt so amazing. And then when I realized that I did not have the power I thought I had, then I became miserable once again. But then I started, like, very recently, I started implementing changes in my life where I finally started feeling like I have power over myself. I started saying no to things, I started setting boundaries with others and stuff, and now I feel this power without feeling the need to control women and do all of that sexist and misogynistic stuff. And without needing to have sex with women. That is the most important part. So, my message is that if you are watching this and you are a young man insecure about being a virgin and you are desperately trying to lose your virginity, like, you're not just insecure, you are miserable, you're like an incel. You feel like your life is worthless until you lose your virginity or anything. My main message to you would be to not listen to all the influencers that tell you, "Oh, you have every right to feel horrible as a virgin. We young men, we crave sex. We need sex because having sex, that is like the biological purpose of reproducing and stuff, and we were created on this earth to reproduce. So of course we need to have sex as young men. Like, don't listen to those guys. They will just make you miserable. And the reason why those guys say that is because they are trying to sell you a course. They are telling you exactly what you want to hear. They are like, oh, you feel miserable because you're a virgin. You are right for feeling miserable because your life sucks when you don't have sex. And so, here, buy my overpriced course so you will learn how to have sex. So you will stop being miserable. Because do not listen to those men. Because I can tell you from my personal experience, as well as from the experience of many other young men, you think you want sex, but in reality you want something else. And the reason why you want sex is because you think that you can accomplish that other thing that you want by having sex. Like in my case, I wanted to feel power, and I thought that by having sex I would feel that power. And I did feel that power initially, until I heard this saying, she's not yours, it's just your turn. Then I stopped feeling power again and I started being miserable. But then I achieved that feeling of power by taking control over myself. So I managed to feel that feeling of power again without having sex. And so if you are a young man, maybe you don't want to have sex specifically to feel power over women or anything. Maybe you want to have sex because you want to feel more masculine. You want to feel worthy in society. Maybe you want respect from your peers or whatever. And I can tell you, you can accomplish those things without needing to have sex. Like, I, for example, managed, like I said, to feel the feeling of power which I wanted without needing to have sex. And so, having sex is not like a basic human need the same way you need food and you need sleep and you need water in order to survive. You can look at a bunch of monks that have been virgins for their whole life, and they have managed to live long lives. Like, you're not gonna die if you don't have sex with other people. The reason why you are so desperate to have sex is, I'm telling you, it's because of something else. And you think that you can accomplish that thing by having sex, when in reality, you can accomplish that thing without needing to have sex. Like, you can feel if you want to have sex in order to feel more masculine. You can feel more masculine without needing sex. If you want to have validation from your peers, you can find peers out there that can validate you even as a virgin. Like, as an example, look at Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace. Like, he stayed a virgin until he got married, which was at like 26. And I know what you might be thinking. You might be like, but I'm older than 26. I'm in my 30s and I'm still a virgin. But I want to lose my virginity. But it's because no woman wants to sleep with me. No woman wants to take my virginity. But there is always someone out there that is older than you, that are like in their 40s or even 50s, that are still virgins. And some of them are actually happy. They are fulfilled in life. And you might be thinking, no, those men are not fulfilled at all. When they say that they are fulfilled, they are just coping. I'm gonna play you a clip here of Charlie Kirk. And I want you to tell me, does he look like he is coping?
If you're a virgin, are you gonna be respected as a man?
I was.
I'm right, but...
I was a virgin until I got married.
Right, but think about the majority.
I had a pretty good life and good career.
Because to me, it does not look like he is coping at all. And that is because, like, we men, we think that we need sex, but actually we don't. The reason why we think we need that is because we actually need something else. Like, for example, we need validation, we need power, we need respect. and we think that losing our virginity will grant us that power, validation, and respect. But it's not always gonna do that. Like, for me, like I said, as soon as I heard the "she's not yours, it's just your turn," I stopped feeling power and I was depressed and miserable again. And then I finally managed to feel power again by taking control over myself, by making decisions in myself that I never thought I would. Like, for example, making videos like this where I preach to men that are like my younger self, young men insecure about their autism diagnosis. I never thought I would have the humility to do that, and I never thought I would have the humility to apologize to the girl that rejected me in high school, and I did all of that. And so I made a lot of things that I thought was impossible, and that made me feel like I have a bunch of power over myself at least. And so that way, I managed to accomplish what I personally was seeking after without like needing to sleep with a woman. And so check out the safe space, link in the description down below, if you want, where I strive to help people like my younger self, specifically young men with autism who are insecure and miserable. And make sure to like and subscribe for more content where I help people like my younger self as well.
Вижу твой взгляд, степь нагая, мог тебя взять, но ты не моя.